AITA for confiscating my stepdaughter's phone after she gave my daughter's ex her new address. My daughter, 22, got out of a very unstable relationship a while ago. She moved in with me, my wife and my stepdaughter, 17, for 1 month and recently moved into her new rental apartment. To be completely honest, both my daughter and stepdaughter aren't close. Moreover, I think my stepdaughter is the one with a problem because she had falsely accused my daughter of stealing in the past, as well as trying to frame her just because she declined to lend her stuff of hers or do things for her. That was when they were younger. Now they have what I believe is called civil relationship, but there's still some tension. Last night I got a call from my daughter crying, telling me her ex came to her new address and she got the cops called on him in order to get him out of the building. I was confused. I asked how he got the address and she said that he told her that her stepsister sent it to him. My stepdaughter wasn't aware of what happened. I walked into her room and demanded to see her phone. She refused and resisted, but I kept pressing. My wife entered the room after my stepdaughter started yelling at me for taking her phone. I scrolled through her texts while both her and my wife were yelling at me and found that she had conversations with my daughter's ex, and that she gave him my daughter's new address. I showed her the texts and demanded an explanation, but she basically told me to F and $% off and give her phone back. I asked if she was aware of what she just did, but she kept pushing back and yelling at me to give her phone back. My wife told me, "Yo, give it back," but I flipped out and told her that my daughter just got her entire life messed up again after what my stepdaughter did out of malicious and hatred. I confiscated her phone and walked out. I heard my stepdaughter yelling and my wife followed me saying I was being unreasonable. I refused to respond and went to visit my daughter. We talked and I made sure she was fine, then had her move in with her grandmother till we figure something out. I then spoke with the police while my wife was still calling me. I went to stay at a hotel for the night and went to work from there the next day. My stepdaughter isn't speaking to me at all and my wife is telling me I have one last chance to give the phone back. She won't ask again, but I didn't budge. My wife admitted that her daughter made a mistake but said she is a child and doesn't understand fully, and that taking her phone that can't live without won't solve the problem. To be more clear about my daughter's situation. Her ex stole money she uses to pay for education. She ended the relationship due to similar instances, but he kept trying to seek forgiveness, get back with her, which made my daughter try to find some space. Stepdaughter is 17, not 7. She knew what she was doing was wrong. It is possible she didn't understand the full implications of the danger she placed your daughter in. She may have thought the separation was more akin to divorce than violence. I would be very concerned about why 17-year-old stepdaughter is in contact with your daughter's ex. What is that relationship about? Sounds like it could be something sinister. NTA. Whoa. Why is your wife so desperate that her daughter has her phone back? She clearly can't be trusted with it for now, so you're absolutely right to confiscate it. The only person who should be making ultimatums here is you, not your wife. Your stepdaughter seriously broke you and your daughter's trust, and she has to work hard to earn this back. Your wife as well should be backing you up here since her daughter put another person in danger. Good luck, Op, and I think you handled this as best you could. Hope your daughter is okay now and things get better for you. NTA. And if your wife condones that behavior, consider a divorce. That's incredibly messed up. Your dot could have lost her life because of what your stepdaughter did. NTA. It sounds like your daughter was a victim of domestic violence, abuse. If she is that scared that the police has to be called and she has to be relocated, First thing I would do is sit down and have a serious talk with my wife and come up with a punishment that you both seem fit. Second thing is I would have a serious conversation with my stepdaughter. I would point blank ask her what would she have done if he killed your daughter because she was being petty. PPL are killed every day from current partners or exes because of domestic violence. Also, it might not hurt to make the stepdaughter volunteer at a shelter for domestic violence victims. If I was you and me and my spouse could not come to an agreement that works for both sides, then I would consider divorce. My child's safety would come first. NTA, you need a divorce. She got in touch with your daughter's abuser so she could be abused again. Possibly be hurt or even killed. Give her back the phone, my ass. I'd kick her out of the house with her abuse apologist mother. She's an accomplice to abuse on your daughter. NTA. That stepdaughter could have gotten your daughter injured. Or worse. At 17, I would think she had some idea of what she was doing and what might result. She needs serious consequences for this behavior. It's not just a mistake. Heaven only knows what might have happened to your daughter. Taking the iPhone is a good first step. Your wife needs to either STF you or work with you to stop her daughter's reckless and possibly malicious behavior. It seems as though the mother has enabled her daughter for far too long. If your wife says this is your last chance to give back the phone, great. Let her leave, and take her daughter with her. NTA. People need to stop thinking infantilized and young are interchangeable. She's not some dumb little baby. She's nearly an adult. Anyone who remembers being 17 would know not to send someone's address to an abusive ex. That's not some youthful whoopsie. NTA. Your stepdaughter purposely shared info with a person who is dangerous. There's no situation in which this is right. She's a child. Yes. But she does. By 17. Know what is right and what is wrong. Honestly. If your wife is supporting your stepdaughter, you need to evaluate your relationship. And yes, she can live without a phone. NTA. Throw your wife away. That's incredibly messed up and such a horrific thing to do. And more so condone. I'd sternly tell your wife that your stepdaughter has ruined your daughter's life if I were you. NTA. Your wife is clearly out of her depth. And your stepdaughter is evil. This is marriage ending. 17 is not a child. NTA. Leave your wife and let her deal with the evil child she created. And be thankful she's not yours. NTA. It seems to me like the one staying in a hotel needs to be your wife and stepdaughter. Your wife is horrible. Your stepdaughter is a beast. It is time for a divorce. Can't live without her phone, my ass. You know what people can't live without? Air, food, water. NTA. But you will be if you stay in this marriage. NTA. She put your kid in danger. She's not some dumb 10-year-old. She's almost an adult. Wow. No. NTA. She needs to understand that your daughter is out of that situation for a reason and that she can't just give out her information willy-nilly. That could have put your daughter in some serious danger. Definitely NTA. NTA. Stepdaughter is 17 and plenty old enough to understand abusive relationships and stalkers. She did that on purpose. Since your wife is flat out refusing to have stepdaughter take accountability for her actions, you may have to reevaluate your marriage. Your wife is refusing to take this situation seriously and it's putting your daughter in jeopardy. NTA. And regardless of the relationship between your daughter and stepdaughter, someone needs to make it clear to SD that what she did could have seriously endangered another person. A person who is a part of her family. And that is unacceptable. You and your wife need to have a frank discussion about this, and SD needs a reality check. Domestic violence is not a joke. NTA at all. Your stepdaughter put your daughter's life at extreme risk. You also need to have a talk with your wife. Your stepdaughter is 17, not 7. All your wife is doing is enabling her shitty behavior. They both should be the ones in the hotel room, not you. If she keeps making excuses for that malicious action, I would honestly start thinking divorce or marriage, family counseling to figure out why she wants to excuse and enable her daughter's shitty behavior and actions. Don't give the phone back and keep making sure your daughter is okay. NTA, you should go home. Give the kid her phone back. Then boot her and her mother out. They are no good. NTA, I believe in natural consequence when doling discipline out to my children. So very rarely would I agree with taking their phone. But she used the phone to talk to someone I'll assume is a grown-ass man. That in itself seems to be forgotten about here. Why is a grown man talking to a 17-year-old, and why do they have each other's numbers but to give out information that not only isn't hers to give but could have potentially hurt your daughter worse than it did? She's a kid in the grand scheme of things, but old enough to know better and to realize what she was doing. She knew there was a reason he didn't have the address and gave it out to be petty, malicious and mean. I can't believe your wife is backing her daughter on this. You are completely justified.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.